It's not when you stop calling or when she sees you with someone new. It's something far quieter, and it always catches her off guard. Maybe this feels familiar. You're not checking her profile anymore, not reaching for your phone like you used to. But even when you're not chasing her, she's still everywhere, in a song, a scent, a random thought that sneaks in when you least expect it. You tell yourself you're fine, you even start to believe it. But deep down, there's this quiet ache, wondering if she ever feels it too. If this is you, you've probably replayed everything in your mind. The moments she pulled away, the words you didn't say, the ones you wish you could take back. You remember the look on her face that day, that mix of certainty and distance. And even though you've accepted it's over, some nights it still burns. That question of, does she ever think about me the way I still think about her? You've been silent, you've stayed strong. Maybe part of you hoped she'd notice the difference, the way your absence feels louder than your presence ever did. You wonder if she scrolls through old photos, if she ever checks to see if you've moved on, if she even realizes what she lost, and somewhere deep down, you sense it. That moment is coming, the shift, the turning point when something inside her finally changes, when your silence stops being comfortable and starts haunting her instead. But here's the truth. That moment doesn't come when you think it does. It's not the day she sees you with someone else. It's not the night she's out pretending she's moved on. It's something much deeper, much quieter, something she never sees coming. So what is that moment? The one that finally makes her miss you most? Most men get this part completely wrong. They think the moment she starts to miss you is when you finally make her jealous, when you post a story with someone new, or when you ignore her messages just to prove a point. But that kind of reaction still comes from the same place, need. It's just disguised as control. Real strength isn't about proving anything, it's about no longer needing to. When you reach the point where her absence no longer shakes your foundation, that's when everything shifts, because the truth is, women don't miss the man who's trying to win her back. They miss the man who rediscovered himself without her, the one who no longer seeks validation because his purpose, his focus, his peace, those became his center again. That's the first masculine principle most men forget: emotional control, not suppression, control. The ability to feel deeply without letting those feelings dictate your behavior. When you master that, you stop reacting and start leading. The second principle is self-respect. You can't expect someone to value you when you keep showing up from a place of loss. But when you reclaim your time, your energy, your silence, you remind her and yourself who you were before the chaos. That's why she starts to miss you, not because of what you do to her, but because of what you stop doing for her. Your stillness becomes louder than your words. Your absence begins to teach her what your presence once gave. The turning point isn't a trick or a tactic. It's when you finally stop trying to make her feel something and start becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to. It's late. The city outside is quiet, but your room feels even quieter. The kind of silence that hums. Heavy, familiar, almost alive. You're sitting there, phone face down on the table, screen lighting up every few minutes with everything except the one name you still want to see. You tell yourself you don't care anymore. You've said it so many times it almost sounds true. But deep down, something in you still listens for that sound. The vibration, the message, the sign that she's thinking about you. There was a time you would have broken the silence first. You would have sent that text just to feel close again, just to stop wondering. But tonight feels different. You're not angry, you're not begging, you're just still, and in that stillness something shifts. You realize you've stopped chasing ghosts. You're not living for her reaction anymore. You're just breathing, existing, healing. Meanwhile, somewhere across town, she feels it too. That space you once filled, now stretching wide and empty. The calls that used to come, don't. The reassurance that used to be there, gone. She laughs with friends, pretends it doesn't bother her, but it does, because for the first time she feels what you felt, that quiet ache, that uncertainty, that loneliness inside her own decision. And that's when it happens. The turning point. Not loud, not dramatic, just this quiet, haunting realization that she lost something real, and this time you're not coming to fix it. You lean back, exhale slowly, and let the silence stay. For once it doesn't hurt, it feels like peace. And somewhere in that piece, when she finally starts to miss you, starts to. Most men have been lied to about what makes a woman miss them. They think it's about pulling away, playing games, or pretending they don't care. But here's the truth. The moment you start performing indifference, you've already lost your power. Because you're still living in reaction to her, you're still defining your worth through her attention. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. That's the first false belief, that her silence is about you. It's not. It's about what she felt when she was with you and what she feels in your absence. If you were constantly anxious, chasing, trying to prove your value, she never got to feel your true energy. The man she met was fueled by fear, not grounded in self. And when you finally step back, that version of you fades, making space for something stronger to emerge, the real you. The second false belief is thinking that making her miss you means cutting her off completely. Disappearing without growth doesn't create mystery, it creates emptiness. What makes her feel your absence is not the distance, it's the difference, the shift in energy when you're no longer waiting for her validation. When your silence isn't a punishment but a reflection of peace. The moment you stop trying to be remembered is the moment you become unforgettable. And the third belief, maybe the hardest one to unlearn, is that getting her back will fix the part of you that's broken. It won't. The longing you feel isn't just for her, it's for the man you were before you lost yourself in someone else's approval. When you rebuild that connection, when your focus returns to your purpose, your discipline, your calm, that's when she feels it. That's when the energy changes. She'll miss the version of you she couldn't break, the one who learned to stand on his own. The turning point when she misses you most isn't when you walk away, it's when you return home to yourself, because that's the moment she realizes what she left behind was never just a man, it was a presence she can't replace. The 1% headman sees what most men can't. He understands that when a woman pulls away, it's not an invitation to chase, it's a mirror reflecting how grounded he really is. While others react out of fear, he pauses. While others panic in the silence, he grows stronger in it, because he knows the difference between waiting and evolving. He's not sitting around hoping she comes back. He's becoming the kind of man who doesn't lose himself when someone else leaves. This is what he understands, and attention isn't power, energy is. A man who controls his energy doesn't need to control outcomes. He's not using silence as a weapon or pretending not to care. His calm is real because it's rooted in clarity. He knows his worth doesn't depend on who chooses him. It's revealed by how he chooses himself. Most men crumble under uncertainty. The 1% headman thrives in it because he doesn't need her to see his value. He lives it. He invests that emotional energy back into his purpose, his body, his peace, and that's exactly when the shift happens. When his presence stops trying to be felt and simply is. This is how he leads with presence, not pressure. His strength isn't in what he says, it's in what he no longer needs to explain. The world feels his steadiness, and she does too. That's when she starts to miss him, not because of the absence, but because of the transformation. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He doesn't react, he responds. And he knows the turning point isn't about her feelings, it's about his evolution. Because when a man becomes unshakable within himself, the world and everyone in it feels the difference. It happens on an ordinary day. No dramatic goodbye, no message that changes everything. Just a quiet morning where you wake up and realize the heaviness isn't there anymore. You're not waiting for her text. You're not checking if she's seen your story. For the first time in a long time, you feel something you didn't expect. Peace. You make your coffee, sit in silence, and notice how different it feels. The world hasn't changed, but you have. The chaos in your chest has softened. The need to be seen has faded. Somewhere along the way, you stopped fighting for her attention and started remembering your own value. The memories that used to sting now pass through like wind. They touch you, but they don't stay. You look around your life and realize how much of it had been waiting for you to return. The projects you abandoned, the passions you buried, the version of you that got lost in proving your worth to someone who couldn't see it. And in that quiet realization, you understand she wasn't your loss. You were hers. The turning point doesn't come with revenge or validation. It comes with acceptance. It's when your energy stops orbiting around someone else's absence and finally comes home to you. It's when you stop chasing closure and start living in clarity. You finally see that love was never supposed to make you lose yourself. It was meant to reveal who you already were, steady, grounded, whole. You take a breath, stand a little taller, and feel it for the first time. That powerful calm that doesn't need to be loud. That's the moment she starts to miss you, because you finally stopped missing yourself. She doesn't miss the man who begged, who pleaded, who let his worth hang on her attention. She misses the man who quietly stopped needing her to prove anything, the one who remembered himself first. The turning point isn't about her realizing what she lost. It's about you realizing what you've always had. Your presence, your calm, your clarity, they become undeniable. And in that space, everything shifts. She feels it. The world feels it. Because the man she misses most isn't someone new. He was always inside you.